Hi everyone, and welcome to the Generalist, where security practitioners look beyond niches, silos, egos, and hopefully build their competence and credibility. My name is Ilya Umanskiy. This is going to be a short episode for my podcast, and I want to touch on this subject that's been weighing on me for quite a few years now as I work with young talent. And this is to address hiring managers and recruiters. So there are obviously a multitude of things that could make this discussion or my opinions last for 2, 3, 4 hours or maybe multiple days. There's so much to talk about. But I feel like there are a few things that stand out that I think in the end of the day hurt our industry. One of these things is that recruiters ultimately represent their clients, or the hiring manager in that organization. They represent their clients, their client organization, their senior management, right? And of course, for independent recruiters who are working on contract for organizations, they're collecting fees for every young, talented practitioner that they bring to the organization after that person gets hired. But the trouble is that recruiters rarely, it seems to me, speak to clients and let them know that they're wrong. Particularly, I see this in continual this grasp or prioritization of language abilities and geographic locations. And what I notice is that every other skill that a person must possess in order to do a good job is put to a side. There are these mandatory requirements for visas. There are mandatory requirements for some, certifications. But recruiters, I don't see, have been talking to clients and telling them that prioritizing these particular factors, not saying they're not important, but prioritizing them above skill set is not okay. It's just not okay, because what you're doing is you're telling young talent that their skills don't matter as much as them having a visa. You're telling them that their skills don't matter as much as them being able to speak a certain language. Now, I can tell you, having worked in Asia for a number of years, and I've worked in multiple countries. Some of them are English-speaking countries, and it's easy to get by for a foreigner who speaks basically. I don't speak the language of most countries here, other than English, and my second language is Russian, right? So, but I've worked on multiple projects in China, never had a single issue with language. You know why? It's because there's always a member of staff who's bilingual, English and Chinese, who's able to translate for me. Now, positions that are being filled that require certain technical skills in our industry, it's not easy to find talent to begin with, right? Who could fit those roles competently and who have enough credibility to be able to deliver sufficient results. And then organizations somehow prioritize knowledge of certain languages above skills. I can say that if those priorities are upheld and continually upheld, what you're going to find is people who can speak the language and people who, let's say, have a visa, but they don't know what they're doing. Do you want that type of environment? Do you want that type of individuals joining your organizations just simply on those prioritized factors? The second thing that I worry about is that it seems to me, and I read a lot of job descriptions day in, day out. It seems to me that both hiring managers, probably to a lesser degree, but primarily recruiters, third-party recruiters, and headhunters, don't really know anything about our industry and about the skills that are required in our industry. They're hearing about those skills from, let's say, the hiring manager or a direct supervisor who's looking to work with this recruiter. But they don't understand anything beyond that. They really don't understand how the work gets done. And so the trouble is, sometimes they don't ask enough questions of people in hiring who need the new hire. They don't try to understand the dynamic of the job, the types of let's say output that a young talent or any new hire would need to produce. And at the same time, I see some people who on the recruiting side who have industry certifications, but still don't really show that they actually understand how to do the work. They probably haven't had an opportunity to work in our industry and deliver results. And so I worry that we have this significant need for talent in our industry, significant shortages that need to be filled, both in the domain of data protection and beyond, that unfortunately are curated by people who don't really have a whole lot of competence about the needed skills and how to produce positive results. And so I worry that we're continuing to see multiple incidents. We're continuing to kind of beat our heads against the wall on that front. And then we also have this friction, this terrible, terrible delay and lack of understanding among people who need to help us fill those gaps in talent and in quality of work. So I think that it's important that we take a step back and think about who are we dealing with. Do a little bit more vetting about those hiring managers and about those recruiters who are constantly advertising positions, and to increase our scrutiny of both the recruiter and the type of writing that they produce, the type of JDs, job descriptions, and job summaries or posts on LinkedIn that they produce. And make some associations. You will quickly find that they themselves sometimes can't spell. They themselves don't understand what the market salary should be, and therefore put something out without telling the client that they're absolutely incorrect about assuming that anyone would be willing to do this job well for this little money. They throw a variety of restrictions that are geographic, that are visa related, or at talent, without understanding that in some countries, like for example in China, big country, right? But good luck finding capable security professionals. Good luck finding them. Okay, you have, some facades of people who say that they are, but the real experience, real understanding of how to do the job is lacking. And so if we continue to put these barriers between talent and the positive output for organizations, I can't see how we will be achieving good progress with mitigation of risks, threats, and vulnerabilities in our organizations. So with that, I wish you to stay safe and healthy, and welcome any comments as always. Thank you.